1st, the beginning of a new month, and hopefully a whole new era. So I'm going to share.
Hello, David.
Hello, Toby. I'm going to share my the board that we're working with, so the video can see what we're up to. So today we are going to try something that I'm going to call a Complication Crisis Jam. This is like a little teeny bit of narrative. We have some cards: adjective, character, verb, phrase, object, and crisis that we're going to lay down to create some kind of very simple generic narrative. I've got some cards left to use as an example. So in phase 1, everybody writes out their own cards, which we have done prior to this. We have, for example, if I go over here, you can see that I have prepared my cards. So I'll hide that again. And Toby has prepared his on the right-hand side. But they would look something like this. Like I might have an adjective that's like hateful, postman, reads stranger's mail, town gets revenge. So that might be a series of narrative cards that I've prepared in advance. However, since there's 2 of us, we're going to intermix our cards. So we're going to end up with something unexpected. That's going to be what we do in phase 2. And then we're going to rinse and repeat. So a few times to get a few interesting ones and then pick the ones we like. And then I thought phase 4, we could try something that may or may not work, which is that we could we could work together to write things that embellish that sort of simple narrative that we're forming. So in this example here, where it's hateful postman, reads stranger's mail, town gets revenge, in discussion, we might decide things like, well, why is he hateful? Well, maybe he sort of whispers rumors around town. That's one of the things that he does as this sort of hateful postman. We might suggest that this is kind of like a psycho thriller, and so we could put this somewhere in here to set the scene of what sort of story this is. We might say that that's something kind of creepy, that while he's reading their mail, he sits outside their house in his postman's van while he's reading their mail. And then in terms of what is the revenge, we might have come up with this idea that the town somehow chokes him with all their letters. So that's what we might do in phase 4 to sort of build out this little narrative complication and crisis, to flesh it out a little bit, to embellish it. And we do that in sort of vertical columns. So that's what I'm hoping we will do today. And I'm just going to reset this board for a moment. And I'm going to take all these things over here, get them out of the way. So down here are some cards that we can use to write stuff in phase 4, so we can ignore them for now. And then I've got this hidden frame down here, which is really just a bunch of random cards. I don't know if we're going to use them, but they're there just in case.
Okay.
So without further ado, we're going to take turns laying down cards. So I will go first and lay down an adjective. So let's see here. I need to get myself set up. Oh, there we go. Okay. So I'm going to lay down an adjective. All right. So I put down incompetent.
Okay.
And you go ahead. Incompetent spy. Okay. 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 Let's see. Okay. I will do.
Oh, very good.
Incompetent spy buries the wrong something or other.
Buries the wrong. That's funny. One of mine's already got the wrong thing in it. Hang on. So buries the wrong.
Great minds think alike.
Sorry, this is not very exciting.
Buries the wrong valuable research. Okay. Okay. I mean, that could lead us somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Buries the wrong valuable research. Let's see. Okay, so I'll do that. This is a little more. This kind of makes sense, right?
Mm.
Incompetent spy buries the wrong valuable research. Witness goes to court tomorrow. Okay. All right. Let's try another one. You can start with
Okay.
with an adjective.
All right. Let's go with this.
I need my glasses now. A corrupt. Okay, let's see. A corrupt. Okay. Pet collector. Okay, they steals. Okay, steals. Pet collector steals. Okay. This is gonna make it too much sense.
Oh Jesus! Hairless cats. All right. No, this is great then. This works.
And releases a bioweapon. Okay, that is cool. All right, I'm going to move them up a little bit so we have some more room below because we're going to try to do all four. So, all right, I'll start us off the next one. Okay. Yeah, so glue sniffing something or other. Let's see. Glue sniffing politician. Okay.
Oh dear. I have nothing that works with that.
All right, I'll throw wobbly in there, I guess. We'll see what happens.
Do you want me to just put? There's nothing that works there.
Well, even if it's weird, put it down. You know how we sometimes manage to make sense of even the strangest stuff.
Yeah, that's none of this is gonna do it. Eats magic. No.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm gonna go with a new frame.
Sorry,
pick one of these black cards that you can see now.
Well, no. Well, why don't we replace eats magic with something from mine, and then switch over to you for the next thing? Because I just think there's only one kind of answer you can get out of that, really.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll go with a different one. If you don't like eats magic, I'll go with
it's just it's so specific. It's beans or mushrooms.
Well, it could be eats magic, houseplant or neighbor.
Okay.
Eats magic neighbor.
Eats magic neighbor. That's okay. You're right. That's a failure of my.
Fails to secure the CIA. Okay, so he's glue sniffing. He fails to secure the CIA, and let's see. Exposes himself to preschoolers.
Okay. Yeah, great.
All right, so I did the glue sniffing. You go ahead and give me.
Go ahead with the next one. Actually, this would have worked with the previous one, I think, better.
Okay. A lustful.
Undertaker, nice. That's very good. Lustful Undertaker. I think I have to do this one now.
Oh boy. Lustful Undertaker murders. Okay.
Okay. I got two possible ones here. Oh boy. Okay. I prefer this one because this one actually could be a thing, but the other one, but the other one will only work for criminal stuff. Do you have other criminal ones?
Um,
Don't worry about it.
really,
I'll go
yeah.
for this because I think this might be the only way I can do it. And frames a student.
Wow, okay. Preschool and frames a student. Okay, yeah, okay, that actually follows.
Mm.
I guess, do we have enough for one more? I guess we do, kind of. I mean, maybe we should try another
Yes.
one. Let's see. I will go with. It's my turn to do it. Okay, so let's go with New Age, New Agey, or a New Age, somebody or other.
Okay. Oh, it's going there? Right. Sorry. A New Age. I don't know if this is the best use of it. I was saving this one for a better thing.
No, okay. I see what you got. Okay. A New Age cowboy. Okay, I haven't got much left.
Oh, he's eaten by. Oh,
because I have the eats the magic.
Okay. Yeah, no, of course. Eaten by. Well, I've only got one left to do, so this is not good.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So
that's a horror film.
Whoops. I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to move the whole shebang here. Let's put this. Okay. So putting this down here, we now have, let's see, quite a few sort of options. So let's see. What do we want to work with first? So that was phase 3. We've done phase 1, 2, and 3. So phase 4 is sort of taking one of these and kind of fleshing it out further. So we've got an incompetent spy buries the wrong valuable research and the witness goes to court tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
A corrupt pet collector steals hairless cats and releases a bioweapon. I have to say that is rather amusing. Glue-sniffing politician fails to secure the CIA, exposes himself to preschoolers. A lustful undertaker murders preschool teacher and frames a student. A New Age cowboy is eaten by a mistress who now has insatiable hunger for meat. And the cat. And enter the cat.
Enter the cat, obviously.
So maybe that means we should work with the hairless cats one.
Well, that or the spy. The spy works.
Okay, an incompetent spy. Let's start with that then. That one seems like it should make sense, and we should be able to do something with that. So let's see. Let's give ourselves, I don't know, how much time should we give ourselves? We don't want to, we probably won't do all of these. We'll just do maybe 2 or 3 at most.
Okay, well, I think if we do 15 for both.
Okay, so give ourselves, let's see what 10 minutes feels like.
Okay.
And see if we can go for gold. So 10 minutes.
All right. Okay.
All right, so let's see. An incompetent spy buries the wrong valuable research. Witness goes to court tomorrow. So what could we add here in terms of embellishments? How are they incompetent? Well, if they bury the wrong valuable research, they clearly, are they nearsighted and farsighted or something like this? Or where does their incompetency come from?
That's true. I mean, the problem is incompetent in itself steers you towards comedy. But I would argue in this instance, perhaps we could go for more a Coen Brothers comedy, where it's a comedy of bad people who think they're good messing up.
So this is, I mean, so in a way, the spy could be incredibly arrogant or something.
Yeah, and it could be, a corporate spy, for example. Let's just say it's a corporate wrongdoing. He has to get rid of the evidence before the court case the next day. He's been hired by this large corporation. He's this real smart guy who goes into this small town that's been screwed over by said corporation, it's been releasing toxic whatever, and he is completely owned by the homespun locals.
All right, so we got corporate espionage. So we kind of have this arrogant, incompetent spy involved in corporate espionage, and then you were saying that what is the caper? What is it that they're?
I mean, it's possible. Let's imagine it's a small town in the Hicks where this guy thinks he can pull the wool over anyone's eyes. He's remarkably polished, and these yokels just dominate him completely.
So whoop, keep doing that. Why does it keep taking? Sorry, so sorry, everybody.
But they would have their own agendas. You'd find out all the secret things going on. So he'd think these are just local hicks, but they're all running their own schemes and scams and things. And he's shown up with a suitcase of money to buy them off, courtesy of this corporation. And the money's not enough. They want more, and they're going to get it. And now he's being pulled into this scam and this scam and this thing. And he's finding this whole underbelly, this seething underbelly of a town that he assumed was just these farmers. Or she assumed were just these farmers. Might be better. So it's a hard-edged woman lawyer.
Okay, so we got, let's see, arrogant, polished.
He's trying to buy off
local. So this is more about the spy. Let's see, corporate espionage. Local hicks. Buy off locals in the town. So that's what the spy is going to do.
Yeah.
But
by buying off, he's going to secure whatever the evidence is that needs to be destroyed before the court case starts.
Okay, so this is
might be tomorrow, might be a couple of days away.
Secure evidence from payoffs or something. Okay. Put that here. All right. So the local hicks are not unsophisticated.
Not at all. No.
So maybe they are the ones who bury the evidence or something to hide it from him or something like that. So we don't know. It's a spy on us. So
that's nice. Yeah. So he shows up expecting to collect this evidence, and it's not there.
So it could be buried. Let's say, so when buried could be a euphemism. Doesn't literally mean they may have doctored evidence or falsified. So to make the case fall apart or something. Let's see. And I don't know, when I think about, reasons to pay off locals in the hick town, it sort of seems like it's because the town, either there's something valuable in the land, or there's, poison in the water. These are the types of things that happen. It's like, they don't know what's good for them, so we're just gonna I'm just gonna go in there and pay them off, and we'll win the case. So they actually, the local hicks do know what's going on.
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, another possible setup would be he goes there because of poison in the water that he knows their power plant / factory / secret research place has been pumping into the water. And when they test the water, yes, it's heavily polluted, but it's not coming from their factory. There's something else happening in the town. And the locals are all in on it. Now, there's many ways it could go.
Oh, I see, right. I see. So,
I don't know what it is, but it could be that, yes, it's either a scam or they're doing something themselves. I don't know what that would be.
So I think this is kind of an interesting twist. It's this idea that he's slick. I'm going to say slick, polished. That he obviously thinks he's better than them, and he gets played. So the end result is that.
So it's your Sandra Bullock, really, perhaps comes in, high-powered corporate lawyer. The role she's played tons of times and can continue to do so, and just knows that with the suitcase of money, nothing in this town can possibly stand up to her. And then homespun local yokel matriarch decides to stand up to her. But then, of course, you'd find out the homespun local yokel is even more corrupt than our city slicker. I don't know, but there's something in there that I think is fun.
Okay.
But it's to say that it's to try and take it away from the framing of incompetent as being strictly humorous.
Yeah.
Because I think we can go, Coen Brothers thing makes it much more interesting.
And yeah, and I suppose, well, it's not as if we haven't seen this kind of story before, but it is a little unexpected that the locals would be so clever.
Yeah.
That you come to one of these places, people talk kind of slowly.
Yes.
They always seem to be more interested in kind of things that who's gossiping with, who's sleeping with whom and what's in the fields and this kind of thing. And it doesn't seem like they have any knowledge about the outside world and what goes on and all this kind of thing. But in reality, they're all very super clever and scam artists. In fact,
and possibly hiding whatever this thing is that they're doing.
Actually, what would be funny is if the town was just full of scam artists who are escaping the law, right? So you end up going to a town where everybody's like a scam artist of some kind, who are helping each other hide from the law, and so it's an entire town of scam artists. The town of scam.
It's very good.
Like we have to spell it slightly differently. Town of, let's say, scum. The town of scum. Yeah. And everyone is on that. I mean, that makes it into sort of a series. They're all on the take, on the make, and somehow the lawyer gets drawn into this whole thing. And anyway, I don't know. Maybe it's a one-off story. It's kind of a funny thing. So that's good. All right. So I think we can play it there. I mean, for just for fun, I'm wondering what would happen if we try to accommodate one of these weird cards. It might completely backfire, but I'll take this one. And let's see what it is. Hidden treasure. Well, okay. Buries the wrong, maybe there is buried, there is research that is like hidden treasure. And it's where is the file? where is it that the spy is a lawyer, right? So where is the lawyer wants to find this thing that they've, at some point the witness is going to court, the lawyer figures out they've hidden this thing in a field somewhere or something, they've got to go find it, and the clock is ticking. And the locals were all doing their best to be innocent, and I don't know what you're talking about, and then moving it around or God knows what. Okay, so there we go. I'll stop the clock in a minute. I'm going to take this. Let's see, take this off of here. Good. All right, and I'm going to put it down below. That is our first set. All right. So which one would you like to tackle next?
Wasn't it the bioweapon, the cats?
Okay, let's try this one. Okay, because your cat came by just at the right moment.
At the right time, yeah.
Yeah, I felt like we had to start the clock. All right. So we have a corrupt pet collector steals hairless cats and releases a bioweapon. I'm trying to figure out, how do we connect hairless cats to bioweapon?
Well, is it is it a bio thing that takes all the hair off cats? I mean, if a pet collector steals from a government agency, like a government testing facility.
Oh, right.
So it might not be corrupt, but maybe it's a PETA, a weaponized PETA supporter breaks into a government thing, releasing animals that are having tests done on them. But unfortunately, the animals are being tested with, insert bioweapon here, and it gets out into the general population.
Yeah, maybe, okay, to start this off, I mean, it could be PETA, or it could just simply be that they're sort of unaware of precisely what's going on, but they know that there's this very rare genetic strain of hairless cat, and this facility seems to be breeding them, and they want to get their hands on them because they're extremely valuable. Right. They don't know this facility, what it's really doing, right? They think it's some kind of breeding place. So okay, so let's see here. Pet collector steals hairless cats. So these hairless cats are extremely rare hybrids. Extremely rare genetic hybrids. So presumably we'll leave it at that, because maybe they want to sell them, maybe they just want to collect them. So this is so there's a facility, breeding facility. Let's say clandestine breeding facility. So the pet collector is corrupt because they just want to steal this. So this is going to be their.
Well, and if they're rare, they're valuable, right?
Maybe they have a patron. Patron money is no object. These are extremely rare cats. So they're set up for it. Now we have the reveal that bioweapons facility, not breeder. so it comes as a surprise. Of course, they don't know that right away. The audience knows that. They don't know that. They get the cat. We're wondering, what the heck does this cat do? We've seen these cats like laser things with their eyes, whatever it may be. And it's like, what are these things? What do they do? Why cats? I mean, I think cats are kind of funny to bioweaponize because they seem so lazy and they kind of skulk around in the background and people ignore them. So there has to be something kind of special and useful about choosing a cat. Is it? Well,
also they're everywhere. So they're a dog. If it's a lone dog, people are slightly wary of it, but a lone cat, people want to take it into their homes or feed it or pet it or do something. They're much less threatening.
So then the question is the reason why they use this hairless cats because those cats genetically are important, or rather they're going to be very extremely popular in the population because of their rarity or something. So they're choosing the rarity for that reason. So what's the reason? Is it a genetic reason, or is it these will?
Well, but this is the thing. Are they researching a cure for a disease at this government place? And obviously, in order to find the cure to disease, you have to infect these animals. So they're being tested upon. Is their hairlessness a side effect of what they've been given?
Well, because they could be weaponizing fur to make people incredibly asthmatic. I know, to have to provoke such an allergic reaction that anyone who comes in contact with the cat will die. And so they're working with hairless cats in the lab.
In the 1950s in San Francisco, the government released supposedly completely harmless bacteria into various parts of the city to test as markers to test how far a biohazard would spread. And they turned out not to be quite as harmless as people thought. And a bunch of people got ill and several people died. And the government didn't own up to this until about 20 to 30 years later. So, I mean, the cats could be a vector for something. The cats could be a vector for a cure for something. Too many people are refusing to get injections. So if we can release these highly infectious cats into the population, that's a way of getting these vectors out there that will then render a population immune to other stuff.
So
no, I mean, if you
combat anti-vaxxers.
Yes, exactly. To combat anti-vaxxers, here's a thing whereby it's going to now be contagious. Your vaccine is contagious.
I actually was thinking of another kind of naughty angle, which is that the hairless cats are, by their nature, rare and expensive. So it's a way to get at rich people.
Right. That's okay. So targeting rich people.
Yeah. A way to target rich people, because these things, go for thousands and tens of thousands of dollars or something. So, way to target rich or rick people. Wonder why I said rick. Maybe I was watching too much Rick and Morty in the past,
Maybe.
which is a good show if anyone
It's
hasn't
a
seen it.
very good show.
Have you watched that other spin-off? Not spin-off, but the other one they did.
Yes, the aliens living. Yeah.
It's funny. I'm finding it harder to get into that one.
Mm-hmm.
Rick and Morty, to me, sort of hits the sweet spot.
Yes,
that one is a little trickier because
well,
the characters take time to.
It also shows why the last season of Rick and Morty was weaker, I think, because Justin Roiland was focused obviously on his spin-off, his new one, and so I think and there are a couple of very good episodes in that new one, but I didn't get into it anywhere near as much.
Now this actually makes me think of. I mean, this is terrible, but this makes me think of Exploding Cats. That
okay, all right.
That's something that could be rather freakish. And then when they explode, it's like the vector is spread everywhere. So they're sort of, but they don't explode maybe they don't explode in the most horrible way. They just kind of vaporize into like shroom sort of spores.
I'm going to cover your ears, Cat. He's talking about blowing up cats.
I'm sorry. This took me on a dark path.
I just had to hear that, please.
Spore spawn. Okay. So we have corrupt pet collectors. The patron says money is no object. They go to a clandestine breeding facility. There's some sort of extremely rare genetic hybrids of hairless cats. These are part of an experiment. This could be an immunological lab that's developing lether dander allergies and other things. The cats, or it could be a vector for cures. Bioweb. So okay, there's a lot of potential there. We've got a minute left. I wonder if there's anything else we can add to this. Do we try a mystery card to see what happens?
Sure, let's pop a mystery card in there.
You grab a mystery card, put it on the canvas, and I'll reveal.
How do I? Okay,
just drag and
drag and drop that mystery
just drag
thing?
and drop one of the black mystery.
Yeah, I can't see it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, got it. All right, right, got it. Yep. So right into the thing. Yeah. Right, here we go. It is. I'm putting on the left side here.
I'm gonna reveal it by clicking on it and changing the color. So I gotta do this and then change the color to that. Okay, fugitive.
Ooh.
So fugitive cat or some other fugitive.
I mean, it could be. I mean, you could have a. Was it Fox and the Hound, where they escaped? I can't remember. No, there was another kids film. I'm sure it might have been Disney, where some animals escaped from a research lab. And what you could have is this fugitive animal escapes from a research lab. We're seeing it all from the animal's point of view. We're rooting for the animal. And what we don't realize is that the reason the government is after the animal is it's got a highly communicable disease on it. And it's killing everyone who's been nice to it along the way.
Well, I'm actually thinking that they grab, what is it, a herd of cats? What do you call a bunch of cats?
A collection of cats?
Okay.
I came up with my own word for that. It's actually a very boring word, I believe.
What's that?
I say an impossibility of cats.
Okay. Grabs impossibility of cats. They all have powers. So this is like a situation where they think, I'm going to get this great haul, right? They end up, and we've sort of seen all these cats have different things going on with them, right? And so he grabs a bunch of cats, including the extremely rare genetic hybrid hairless, but they're all these cats are each of them part of some experiment that's different. And so now he's got this extremely dangerous collection of cats on his hand, and they wreak havoc in his life because he has no idea what he's got his hands on, right? So he thinks, wow, this is great. I've gone to this secret breeder that has all these amazing cats. I've got like 10 of them. And then it's like the worst thing of my life, right? Because these cats all have strange powers and diseases and other things that they've been designed for. And it's a nightmare. So this could actually be a children's kind of film where the cats have all sorts of... so we can't have exploding cats in the children's film.
No.
Okay. No. All right. So that is... yep, let's see. Let me try to grab these without... Yep, no. Just select the ones we want. Oh, I'm going to have to move them differently. Okay, go down here, down here, down here. And I need to take these two down there too. Okay, so, all right, so we have 2 stories. Let's see, it's been an hour. All right, I think that's good enough.
Okay.
We did it, we spent an hour, we got 2, and we have a few more that we could play around with. So, what do we think of this? What do we think of this approach?
I think it's good, but I think it would be helpful. So, for example, when you came up with Eats a Magic, the 3 things I had were the CIA, his mistress, or the wrong woman.
Okay.
Right. So Eats the Magic wrong woman doesn't work. Eats a Magic mistress doesn't work. Eats a Magic CIA doesn't really work.
Eat doesn't have to be literal. Eats a Magic mistress is.
Yeah.
That could have provided.
Okay. So I think
unusual conversation.
What's helpful is if one of the things is come up with different things that are clearly genre stuff, because what you want are those big things that are going to bounce off, I think. So spy, cowboy, private detective, instantly, the second you have those, they're very evocative.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they help you get into a story. Whereas lighter stuff is creating more sophisticated stories, I feel. And maybe that's good, but it doesn't give you the jump in that you want.
I was also thinking, go ahead.
It worked out fine. We came out with certainly one great story, I think. I don't know about the exploding cats.
Yeah, the exploding cats part maybe
doesn't quite work. But I think the idea of, and again, we're tweaking it. It's not incompetent. It's just the way we were tweaking it is it's not necessarily competent. It's someone who, as you say, arrogant is more likely. It's someone who misreads the situation.
That's the source of their incompetence. They don't. Yeah. They believe everyone else is stupider than them.
But that was me specifically going, right, I think we can do more with this if it's not just a comedy about an incompetent spy.
Yeah.
But we could have done, incompetent spy, your mock James Bond figure who goes out and does everything wrong.
Mm-hmm. Yes, our man in our man in Stains.
Right, does the wrong thing, and now this case is going to explode because of that.
The other thing that struck me is that I'm trying to find the right balance between user creativity and surprise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it strikes me that it is surprising because we're not using all our own cards. Mm-hmm. But I wonder if us taking turns to figure out which card to place doesn't create as much surprise as it could. So in other words, what I might try differently just to see what it's like is we create the cards like we did, and then we jumble them up and we turn them over. We don't know whose card is going to go in there. So we sort of have a familiar sense of, oh yeah, I wrote that card, but we don't know when they're going to come up.
Yeah. I mean, or another one is we lay out our cards of the story that we were telling, but the other person can jump in with one of their cards to replace it if they think it's going to be a stronger story.
I see.
Or so more interesting or more fun thing. So we would have gone, one of mine was a lustful professor steals research and frames a student.
Mm-hmm.
But so you might go in, all right, a lustful, no, I think spy is much better. Steals not so great, betrays, the CIA. And then, so we could end up, jumping over and I could go, no, actually this one's better than that one.
Mm-hmm. So I think
what that would let you do is end up with the strongest possible story of all the pieces you've got.
Okay.
Because you're bundling everything into one, and you're going, would this work? Would this work? Would this work?
Right. So that's a negotiation. So there's a couple of different approaches we could explore. We could explore a negotiation approach, which is what you're describing. We've got cards,
or the completely blind approach.
Or the completely blind approach, or some combination thereof. So actually that makes it easier for us to test because you and I can just write a whole bunch of cards out and then try these different
approaches
one after the other and see what we think. Okay, great. So that's what I am going to prepare for next week.
Okay.
And send you an email so that we can kind of
Great.
write
How
some
many
stuff.
do you think we'll need? What should we do? 10?
Probably,
5 for
create
each?
a good bunch of things,
Okay.
and we'll probably discover too over time that there're just certain ones that replay nicely, that are
Yes.
just are reusable because they're so they have so many. I mean, ideally, we want to write something that has a lot of possibilities. So for example, when I was writing this, I wrote a card that said buries the wrong person, but then it's obviously better if it's buries the wrong, you don't know what it is,
Right.
so that it actually has multiple meanings and uses. So, and then in this discussion, buries the wrong thing could mean literally buries or hides,
Yeah.
or obscures, so that so those things seem to have multiple play, it seems to me. And we'll figure that out as we use them. Thank you so much, Toby, for another
Thank you, sir.
Delightful
Fantastic to see you.
jam on a Thursday morning. It's good to see you too. It's been
nice
a while.
Glasses.
And,
I like that.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, very, very posh. These are actually they're meant to be computer reading glasses.
Yeah.
They give you the tint, but they're really clever because I don't know what they do in the magnification, but they say that they not only magnify slightly, but they try to get your eye to focus on the right part of the screen, because eyes want to focus into the screen, which makes them tired, instead of focusing on the surface.
On the surface of it, right.
Somehow they claim these combat fatigue by helping you to focus on the surface. And as far as I'm aware, they're very comfortable to wear for hours and hours. So.
Wow. Okay.
I'll send you a link. Actually, I bought them in England, so I'll send you a link.
Oh my God. All right. Thank you.
They're from the Italian company Nannini, but there's one supplier in the UK that I found nowhere else in the world that has everything for a good price. So anyway.
Good Lord. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much. Have a great week, sir.
Thank you. You too. I'm going to stop the recording and see you anon.
Okay.